Oh goody, it's another Clemson-Alabama national championship. That's just what everybody wants to see. But, alas, I guess it's time to start gaming, so let's start gaming.
Well, you do great here in the Emerald City. I'm sure you can't wait to go.
Take me away to that special place.
That blowjob place.
People like us can all live free.
Free to get blowjobs.
Take me away and let's live together. That's
Blowjobs. All blowjobs are.
and me.
Let's try.
Look at them, becoming friends. Here in Oz, you love blowjobs. Suddenly, this is a free blowjob.
Yeah, this is Gray Fox 37,
And Pikachu 23.
and
And we have a special guest today.
Pikachu. You got that for Christmas or birthday?
It was Christmas last
Christmas
year. I
last
think.
year, okay. Oh, here, I'll throw some stuff away from my recycling bin. Oh, yay. Well, yeah, this is the gameplay video ahead of time, so gameplay will probably start in a few minutes if you want to skip ahead. But, yeah, it wasn't a very good semifinal. First quarter was good at least, but, after Julian Love got injured on Notre Dame, their defense just went to the shits, basically, and, yeah, Clemson just capitalized on it, so...
We were very angry.
Yeah, it was nice to see Mom and Dad, though.
Yeah.
We're going to go four-wheeling in with them tomorrow, so we're looking forward to that. So we figured we'd throw in some recording, and we're going to do 7 a.m. Day 2, and we're finally going to be playing as Grace.
Yep.
And this will be a longer block because Grace has different opinions of things that you take a look at, so we'll be going over all of that too, and then we'll basically go from there. So hope you enjoyed the South Park intro song, but you ready to go, Pikachu?
Yep.
All right. Let's hit the play button. Let's hit the launch. Low job. Oops. Okay. The following takes place between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. So Grace is coming out from putting on her tampon. I mean, hey. Oh. Right, here we're going to look at her.
That's me, the trusty sidekick.
Don't demean yourself. You're better than that, baby. So let's look at the paddling picture.
Looks like two Englishmen exploring the Amazon. Which begs the question, what exactly is it doing in a French hotel?
Good question.
And she's actually, well, here, let's see if it does the link to the furniture here.
Those are great for reading in bed.
Oh,
She's not prejudiced against lamps.
Yeah, what do you know?
I guess Gabe hates reading.
Alright, so we're gonna, oh, yeah, okay, never mind. If you go down, she'll probably say the same thing. Let's see.
Those are great for reading in bed.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Alright,
how
so
boring.
let's try opening it.
It's empty. Well, that would make sense since I haven't put anything in there.
Oh, we don't know that. Let's take a look at the bed.
Oh, the bed's pretty comfortable.
Then let's use the bed.
No way I could sleep.
No, of course
no.
not. Window's closed again. Let's reopen it again. Soft breeze. Alright. Then let's look at the armoire.
I like all these old French antiques.
It's got more positive things to say.
Yep.
Woman splaining everything. No, I was kidding. Alright, take a look at the clothes.
Our stuff. I brought it down from Prince James's house.
Just like a woman should. Oh God, you're such a sexist. Such a sexist, Gray Fox. Taking a look at the dumbwaiter.
That's a dumb waiter. Some of the old hotels in New York have them.
Yeah, she's light prejudice, unfortunately. Let's unlock it. Let's open it.
It won't open.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
locked.
I pushed it the other way. Oh, I'm so smart, Fox.
Oops.
Jeez. Now we can open it. Oh, so they close the window every block, but they don't lock the dumbwaiter. I guess the
Of course not, because that makes sense.
priorities. Yeah. Let's try getting inside the
You
dumbwaiter.
can't be serious.
But why not?
Look at the other one.
I think that goes to Mr. Baza's room.
Let's
Close
be
it.
creepy stalkers.
And then let's go ahead and take a look at Gabe sleeping.
He looks so harmless when he's asleep, doesn't he?
Sleeping on the sofa. Let's zoom in on his, and that light bulb.
Don't get me started.
See if they can, oh, no, never mind. Alright, let's look at the naughty picture above him.
That would be right over Gabriel's bed.
Look at the sofa.
It's comfortable enough. I'm sure he's fine sleeping there.
Let's
Anyway,
see.
better him than me.
Ouch.
Let's use the sofa.
No.
Alright, so let's look at the bushy plant.
Looks like something you'd see in Palm Springs.
Yeah, sure. Look at the white suit.
That looks like a cat's at reproduction.
Let's look at the still life.
I've done so many still lifes for painting class. I'm sick of them. This one isn't bad, though.
Alright, let's go into the bathroom.
Oh no.
Let's look at the towel.
Gee, I wish they'd left more of those. From what Gerda tells me, Gabriel can go through 3 a day all by himself.
Whoa!
Yeah. Let's look at the bath.
Gabriel will just have to live without his special hair washing nozzle for a while.
Hey!
Use the bath.
I already did that this morning.
How do we know? No.
Yeah, we don't know that.
Ooh, soap.
That's mine.
That's a kit.
I already have my face on, believe it or not.
Makeup kit, yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, toothbrush.
They look kind of cute side by side like that. I already did that this morning.
And there's the hair washing product kit.
I can't see how he fits his hair products in there. His hairspray alone is twice that size.
Whoa.
Open it.
I'm afraid of what I might find.
Look at the
There's
sink.
one sink I don't have to clean.
Light bulb on the sink.
This is the first time Gabriel and I have shared a sink. Good thing I had my shots last year.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's mean.
Catty.
No toenail clippings in there.
In the garbage can.
Ew.
And let's look at the toilet paper.
Oh, very interesting. They have square toilet paper here in France.
Or it has nothing to do with the graphics, maybe? And then, no, yeah, she's cracking a joke of it, but yeah, it actually does look kind of like polygonish. All right, let's turn and unroll it.
That would make a mess.
Let's look at the John.
The odious commodious.
Let's use it.
That is disgusting.
Oh, I forgot how funny she was.
Yeah, she's got her moments.
Yeah.
Gabe's better though.
Well, of course. It's just funny sometimes, you know?
Let's look at the trash can out here.
If this were Schloss Ritter, that would be filled with Gabriel's aborted writing attempts. And
Oh.
letters from my mother.
Oh.
Let's look at the luggage. Under the bed.
Our stuff. I brought it down from Prince James's house.
You know, there's always a saying, a guy's a good guy if he loves his mother. I mean, I love my mother, so I already know I'm a good guy, but, you know, with a woman that doesn't like their mother, I guess, I mean, it's a whole father thing with the woman, basically, you know, where they have that whole thing where it's like, oh, she's got daddy issues, now she's going to become a thought or something like that.
Uh-oh.
So it works that way. But women who hate their mothers, I guess they just aren't friends, but they love their fathers. Maybe it might work that way. So we're going to take a look at the fingerprint kit.
I got 2 fingerprint kits. Gabriel's not going to have all the fun on this case.
Aw.
Take the fingerprint kit. And we're going to use Sydney. Now the screen's going to be messed up because of the resolution and the graphics. I apologize in advance. Oh, wow, it's not. Okay.
Wow.
It actually stretched out to size with it too. Huh.
Ooh, it doesn't look stupid.
Oh, you know what? I never played, like I was playing Gabriel Knight 3 on Windows 10 and it kept crashing on me, and I didn't have the graphics fix work until recently, so I never used Sydney with the graphics fix, because what would happen is these angles over here, and I'm moving the mouse over them just to let you know, Pikachu, these angles over here would be like distorted, so now with the graphics fix, it's stretched out, and it looks fine. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I forgot I never had a chance to do that. So, with Grace, when she uses Sydney, she can do the search for the research. You know, there's a little fragmentation, but that's nothing. She can look at her emails, because personal computer files is basically where you're going to scan things into, like fingerprints, license plates, things like that. Analyze is where you basically take things and you scan them to see if there's anything secret in it. Translates, enough said there. Add data is where you scan things into Sydney, like fingerprints and whatnot. And then make ID, it's sad that there's only one time in the game you get to do that, and not many walkthroughs take advantage of it, so I'll show you later when we get back with Gabe later in the afternoon. And then there's the suspects list, so she's already got a couple of input here already. So yeah, there's a little distortion that's happening here, like I'm moving left to right and it's like blocking out the open file and everything like that, so, but then goes back to normal, so that's okay though. Alright, I can still see things just fine. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go take a look at the emails. So basically the first one is from Grace's mother.
Oh no.
And it's rt_nakamura at AOL.com. I used to work for AOL. But that was a long time ago.
Yes.
Thank goodness I don't work for those bums anymore. And then grace.nakamura at euroserve.com. So basically, Euroserve is the good old generic European email server. July 1st of 1998. That's 7:25 a.m. Subject, hello. Hello, hello. We were just watching that episode of South Park on the marathon. Okay. So her mother says, Grace, your father had a wonderful idea. We're going to send you an early birthday present, tickets to fly home. How does next month sound? I met the nicest boy at the Japanese Cultural Center. His name is Ryan Mikoshi. I gave him your email, hope you don't mind. Before you start, he's very good looking and he's an electrical engineer. He works for IBM in Manhattan. I'm telling you, the girls at the center are quite interested, but I showed him your picture and told him all about you. You know how good I can make you sound. Mrs. Willis's daughter is traveling in Europe for a year too. She's pretty but spoiled. Her parents are paying for this trip because she got accepted at Harvard Law School, but at least she's a good daughter. Now that we pay for this new email account every month, oh god, those days, you can't write to your mother? Let me know right away about the trip. The second week of July works best because we have theater tickets before and after. We can drive over to Yale and look up some of your school friends. Maybe talk to that nice Professor Barclay. Love, Mom. So let's reply.
No, thank you.
Let's compose.
I don't want to write anybody right now.
Alright, so we're going to hit next. And it's rmikoshi at hotmail.com.
Oh no.
Which is become outlook.com, which is a much better server.
Wait,
but
I thought Hotmail got turned into live.com?
Live or outlook.com.
Oh, right.
Yeah, either or. But Gmail's the best. But despite the fact that Google sells out to a bunch of SAWs now and furries. But anyway, nothing personal against furries. It's just, yeah. But anyway, hi Grace, my name's Ryan Mikoshi. Your mother gave me your email address. She says you're taking a European sabbatical? Sounds great. I wish I could get away. I graduated with my MSEE 2 years ago and went to work for IBM 2 weeks later. You know how school loans can be. Anyway, your mother says that you're coming home in a few weeks, so maybe we could get together. She made you sound pretty interesting. People think I'm interesting too. Let's reply.
I really don't want to get the guy's hopes up.
Alright, so last is C_llama at OHM.com or Yep. This is for July 7th at 4:40 in the morning, but different time zone
Wow.
over there. The subject is destiny. Dear Grace, of course you're welcome to join us anytime, even if your partner does not choose to do so. But I sense that you feel you're tied to your current situation, perhaps without a clear understanding why. Love and loyalty are precious gifts, but they must be free and open, not sources of resentment or restraint. Destiny can also be a heavy weight, and I sense your destiny is a deep one. Sometimes we must wait for the event in which we are to participate before we can move on. Let this thought give you patience. If you feel the path blocked beyond your ability to influence, you may need for fate to find a detour. Remember, we cannot control others. Our choices belong to each of us alone. I can feel you clearly and sweetly across the long miles. I know you'll find your way. I only hope that our paths cross before we are both too old and wise to learn from each other. Your friend Shadril. So Shadril's a Schottenjäger monk that Grace had met before this whole adventure.
I want to write back, but I need to think about what I'm going to say.
Then here's a picture of Grace here on the laptop of her over in India. Alright, Sue.
Because Gabe refuses to go.
Right. I don't blame him. That place is overpopulated and hot as hell sometimes.
Yes, but it might be good to be trained.
Oh, I'm not questioning that.
In general.
Yeah. Alright, so now we're going to do the research on vampires. So, entries containing vampire, 18th century vampires, treatise translated from German, excerpt from Dracula by Bram Stoker. So, vampirism is the act of stealing and drinking another's blood. There are creatures which drain psychic energy instead of blood. One might argue that these creatures are vampires, but in occult circles such being are referred to as succubi. For the purposes of this treatise, blood must be involved. Types of vampires. The types of vampires can be distinguished by their purpose in seeking the blood. There are three basic categories: vampires who use the blood for sustenance, vampires who use the blood to steal attributes, and vampires who use the blood to gain power over the host. Vampires who require blood for sustenance. For some creatures, blood is the only viable source of nutrition. Like mosquitoes or leeches, they survive off the blood of the living. All blood-drinking creatures are creatures of darkness. These include demons and monsters. Demons. Many traditional vampire cases in such areas as Hungary, Yugoslavia, and Transylvania can be regarded as demonic possession of the dead. Fortunately, this form of sibylline entertainment seems to be the dying out these days, perhaps because demons do not care for embalming fluid. When such possession occurs, living blood is required to not only nourish the demon, but to keep the corpse from decomposing. Monsters. Monsters are the result of mixing human and demon blood. Such creatures are usually, but not necessarily, evil. Due to the usually paternal demon genetics, living blood is required to sustain life. The appearance of monstrosities is increasingly rare. Vampires who consume blood in order to steal attributes. The earliest magical religions believed that by drinking the blood of a man or an animal, one took on that being's traits. Many primitives still drink the blood of the bear and the lion for strength, or the antelope and deer for swiftness. Similarly, some tribes ingest the remains of their dead in order to retain their skills or spirit for the tribe, which is true. Western magicians have also been known to consume the blood of humans to steal the host's talent, wisdom, youth, or vitality. The Hermaic principles behind this practice bear remarkable correspondences to modern DNA theory. See Blood Cults, Elizabeth of Bathory, and Immortality. Vampires who use the blood to gain power over the host. Blood is closely associated with a person's spirit or essence in many magical traditions. Because of this connection, some rituals involve stealing and using blood in a manner similar to the way that hair and nail clippings are used in voodoo, i.e. to gain control over a subject. So basically we'll go click on the succubi link, which is my favorite. Succubus and incubus, supernatural creatures who visit their victims through sexual dreams. Before Freud, disturbing sexual dreams were often thought to be the work of demons, come to tempt a devout Christian to sin. The bearer of such dreams are succubi and incubi, female and male demons respectively, who were sexually insatiable and would rape their victims via sexual dreams while they slept. As fun as this might sound, it could be a terrifying experience for those who believed in such things. It was believed that a visit from a succubus or incubus would drain energy, even life, from its victim. It's a very common form of demonic possession. Well, succubus and incubus, depending on your sexual preference, sure as hell make some fun stories, some fun dirty stories. I could go on and on, but I'm not going to go.
As long as they don't kill you.
Right. Well, there's a story that the succubus and incubus find their one and they feed power to it.
Yes,
much
there's
like
that one.
much like the Dream Lover episode of Poltergeist: The Legacy.
Yeah.
But sadly, that one was bitch.
Yeah.
Schottenjäger Archives, Archive Source 70. Okay. So next, what we'll do is we'll go to Blood Cults. Alright. So from Diary of an English Adept, Rosencline, I have heard it whispered in the highest magical circles that a cult exists where secrecy goes even beyond the impenetrable nine. This cult practices black magic and, in particular, a peculiar kind of blood magic. Thus have obscure but pernicious rumors surfaced about the existence of a blood cult, a group whose magic revolves around the properties of blood. Some rumors claim that this group is searching for immortality and or heightened magical power through the manipulation of their blood by magic rite, interbreeding, even imbibing the blood of others with desired powers or properties.
Don't you mean imbibing?
Imbibing, thank you. Yeah, it's not a word I use every day, so.
Nope.
Alright, so Elizabeth of Bathory. Elizabeth Bathory is a historical figure that has been compared to Jack the Ripper and Dracula in no small feat. Obsessed with remaining beautiful, Elizabeth invented a unique anti-aging formula, bathing in the blood of young virgins. She killed and tortured something like 600 girls, according to the trial records, before she was finally arrested for her crimes. Her servants were burnt at the stake for their part of the dire deeds, but Elizabeth was walled up alive in Bathory Castle, and her skeletal remains haunt the place. Alright,
Yes.
And then we'll click on Immortality. Immortality, or living forever, has been an age-old quest of mankind, ever since man realized that he, like his father before him, would one day die. The quest to escape that sentence has been on and has been fraught with desperation and little success. Many religions seek to assure their followers of life beyond death, that is, of the continuing life of the spirit, either through a destiny in heaven or hell, or through reincarnation back to the earthly plane. The goal of the many occult traditions has been to look for immortality in the here and now, not trusting in the promises of the spirit world. Alchemists sought to create the Philosopher's Stone in order to achieve immortality. Others sought the Fountain of Youth, or the Tree of Life from the Garden of Eden. In the case of the latter two, it is said that a drink or a single fruit would produce immortality. In the story of the Grail, the knight who protected the Grail was granted immortality as long as he remained in its presence. There are legends regarding immortals, men or women who have achieved immortality and who would continue to walk the earth long after their biological time in the past. See Wandering Jew. I don't know if I would ever really want to be reincarnated, to be honest. Because I could end up being born into like a bad family or something like that. Been pondering about that lately. I love our parents to death, and I'm so glad that we were, born into a family respectively there. But at the same time, I just sit back and it's like, man, if I were reincarnated, I might not be that lucky. I could reincarnate into a life where I make bad choices or something because of a poor upbringing or something. That would just be frightening, be worse than death, really. And as for afterlife, I mean, I'm agnostic, but what I'd like to think is that heaven and hell. It'd be great if hell was like South Park. It's probably not going to be like that, but it would be interesting. It'd also be interesting if it would be a role reversal, or if like both there wasn't really a huge difference, except heaven is like basically where you live out immortality and service to God, and basically peace and whatnot, and then in hell you live in service to Satan, but it's more so in giving into your desire and things like that, and it would be interesting if it played off like that. I don't think that anybody would honestly damn you to an eternity or anything unless you did something extremely bad. Blasphemy and like non-believing is one thing, but murder and torture and rape and anything else evil within that, I mean, I would think that would be something that would just be far beyond greater. But of course, a lot of devout Christians are listening to us like, oh, you're full of hearsay and whatnot. It's like, yeah, I know.
And then, come on, dude. You know that heaven is only for Mormons, and everyone else goes to hell because from South Park.
Right. It was the Mormon religion. Oh!
Yeah.
All right. So these two, the Alchemist and Philosopher's Stone, we're not really supposed to look up, so we'll skip over those. I'll be a good boy and go in order of all this junk. The Grail, on the other hand, we can look up. So as you can see, we got some more points up here. Ooh, look, I'm making it erase away. Okay, anyway. The Holy Grail. The original and most famous story of the Grail is Wolfenbach's classic Percival, in the story of the knight Percival. I was right. Percival.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, okay. Shoot, you knew that one. Okay. Arthur, Lancelot, Percival. Come on, man. Of King Arthur's court, rides out in search of the legendary Holy Grail. He comes to a mysterious castle and is invited inside. There he meets the Fisher King. The Fisher King suffers from a terrible wound in his thigh. Because of his infirmity, both the castle and the kingdom have fallen into disrepair and sorrow. So Percival is invited to stay for a banquet. He witnesses a possession. First a squire with the bleeding lance enters. Next come two squires carrying 10-branched candlesticks. Then comes a damsel with the Grail. Unfortunately, Percival fails to ask the critical questions, what is the Grail and whom does it serve? Because he does not ask, he loses his chance to access the Grail and to heal the Fisher King and his land. Later in the story, Percival rectifies his error and wins the Grail by the virtue of his pure heart. Many other authors have written of the Grail. It is said in various accounts to be a chalice, a stone, and a platter. Some authors claim it's guarded by knights in an underground cavern. Others claim that it was a cup purchased by Joseph of Arimathea for the Last Supper and later used by him at the crucifixion to capture the blood of Jesus. Some believe those who drink from the cup achieve immortality. There was a lot of stories about that, and I liked the King Arthur Grail story, but I really liked the, aside from the Joseph of Arimathea one, I also loved the one in The Last Crusade from Indiana Jones. That was cool.
Yeah.
All right, and then we'll go ahead and do Templars, so we'll go ahead and type that in there. Knights Templar. The Knights Templar was a chivalrous order in the Middle Ages. The order began in 1118 during the Crusades, when Hugh de Paynes and 8 companions made a sacred vow to protect pilgrims from attack while they journeyed to the Holy Land. The King of Jerusalem granted knighthood to the order and gave him lodgings at the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which was built on the ancient site of the Temple of Solomon. The order grew in power and wealth as they began to be involved in a kind of banking system. In 1307, King Philip IV of France used fabricated charges of heresy against the order in order to seize their lands and wealth. Through this trial, the order was abandoned, and some Templars, such as the Grand Master Jacques de Molay, were executed. A number of modern esoteric groups, including the Freemasons, claim descent from the Knights Templar. And then we'll go over here and we'll look up Stewart's as the last one.
Don't you mean heresy?
Heresy, yeah, that's what I was saying. Let's see, Stuart would be the last one for this block. Try to remember the searches from memory here. The House of Stuart was the royal house of Scotland from the 14th century, beginning with Robert the Bruce in 1314, who won independence from Britain. Another famous descendant of the family was Mary, Queen of Scots, 1542 to 1587, which they got some movie, that's just recently going to be coming out for that, but it's probably just going to be a bunch of girl power crap. She was, don't get me wrong, she was a very powerful woman, but, they're probably going to overdo it for Hollywood.
Oh, of
especially
course.
The sex, of course.
Yep.
But anyway, I digress. In 1603, James VI succeeded Elizabeth I of England, who died childless. James VI ruled both Scotland and England, uniting the countries, but the age-old rivalry between Scotland and England made the succession difficult for the English to bear. His son Charles I was murdered by Cromwell in 1660, Charles II was named King of England and Scotland, uniting the countries under the Stuart dynasty once again, but it was not to last. The Stuarts were ousted and replaced by the current dynasty, the Hanovers. Today, the House of Stuart is active in its exile and is called the Counts of Albany or the Princes of Albany. So there you go. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's enough research for now. The cool thing is, you could totally go through, all the topics you got to research and everything ahead of time and get all those points, but I'll keep, keep things relevant and whatnot for what we're doing, especially later on when we're trying to solve a puzzle, so...
Yes, the awesome puzzles.
Alright, so we're done with the room, so let's get out, finally.
Yep.
But now, somebody left a book. Now, if you use the fingerprint kit ahead of time...
Not a bad idea, but maybe I should pick it up first.
Look at it.
Someone left us a book.
And we'll pick it up.
There's a poem in here. The arms of Jesus are the cross of Lorraine, both the blood in the arteries and the blood in the vein, both the source of grace and the clear fountain. The arms of Satan are the cross of Lorraine and the same artery and the same vein and the same blood and the troubled fountain.
I don't remember that one.
For Gabriel.
You will?
Yeah.
But I thought that was your job.
She's just being nice. Oh, it's the DUI episode of South Park that's on now.
No.
Is there an officer problem?
With that awesome Put It Down song.
No. That's the the Twitter one. Yeah, this is the one where Randy drinks too much. It's the one with the bleeding Virgin Mary's ass.
One.
Yeah. So take a look at the poem again.
I left it for Gabriel.
Good for you.
Yeah.
All right. So what we're gonna do now is select the fingerprint kit. And then we're gonna... Right, let's try reading.
I want to read it in the van.
Yeah, there you go. So let's use the fingerprint kit on it. Wipe over it.
No prints. That's a bummer.
Yep. Use a light bulb.
I wonder who could have left this for us. And why?
Alright, so basically it's Secrets of the Holy Grail book that we saw in the bookstore. Mm-hmm. Alright, let's take a look around here.
Mr. Baza's next door to us.
Let's look at the line table.
Pretty table, but a bit too antique-y for my tastes. I bet Gabriel likes it.
He does. Mm-hmm. Look at the picture with the...
I expect Mark Twain to come around that corner any minute.
The buildings in the road, yeah. Here's the red umbrella.
I think Gabriel has a thing for red umbrellas.
Let's look at the door for Mosley.
It's Mosley's room.
Let's knock on it.
He's probably asleep. We've got some time yet.
Excuse me. Let's look at Wilkes's room.
The Australian is in that room.
The Australian.
Apparently.
Let's look at the family in the grass.
They don't make families like that anymore. Too much work.
Nope.
That's true. Let's take a look at the door here.
Signore Bukele's room.
Oh my god, she said it right.
Yep, of course.
Hotel staff only. Must be the maid's closet.
Too
It's
bad.
locked. I'm not surprised.
The British
Nope.
gals.
Lady
Oh,
Howard
dear.
and Estelle share that one.
And then Madeline's room.
Gabriel said the tour group leader is in that room. Funny. He almost seemed to be drooling at the time.
Ugh.
Down the stairs we go.
So prickly.
So let's go over to the candy. Let's taste some.
I have to watch my girlish figure.
But
Not
it's
that
not
anybody
very
notices.
big.
That stuff rots your teeth. Fat free though.
But she's got to watch her figure even though it's fat-free. Error! Error!
Yeah. And
Here's
even
the-
though it's a tiny little peppermint.
Yeah. Here's the rot in your teeth, though. You eat too much of those. There you go. Here's the
Apparently.
swamp scene.
That's soothing. If you really like green.
Green's my favorite color.
I wonder if she'll actually eat anything.
Does Grace Nakamura eat? Voyager! Okay, anyway, I said it. All right. Let's look at the flowers.
Nice. They brighten the place up a bit.
Yeah, even though they're covered under a looming shadow.
Oh.
Let's take them.
With me. But the staff would probably get upset about it.
Oh. But why not?
Gabriel, somebody brought me flowers. Oh, she likes to look at this lamp.
It's just a lamp.
It's
Just a
pretty.
lamp.
It's
Just
pretty!
All right, probably John will probably pick up on this, but let's go buzz Mosley.
I don't need to bug Mosley right now.
Let's
Oh,
go
but why
bug
not?
Gabe.
It would be funny to buzz Gabriel if I could be there to see him jump. But I can't. So I won't.
Oh, but it'd be
Old-fashioned
funny.
room buzzers. How quaint.
How quaint. Let's take a look at John.
Hello.
What do you bet he works here?
Let's take a look at the bell.
They don't really need a bell. Jean and Simone guard their post like members of the French resistance.
Wow.
Let's look at this skull painting in the back.
It reminds me of something Gabriel's father would have painted.
New.
Let's ring the bell.
He's already at the desk.
Let's use the phone or to look
A
at
rotary
it.
phone? I haven't seen one of those since the 70s.
They're
Wait,
vintage.
but she doesn't sound very old.
They're vintage, so you know those are great. Those are fun to collect.
There's a phone room for the guests if I need to make a call.
Let's talk to Jean.
Let's go call your mom.
Yeah.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. Welcome to Rennes-le-Château. I am afraid we do not have the free room at the moment.
Yeah, I know. I heard you were booked. It's all right. I'm staying in Mr. Knight's room.
I feel so silly, mademoiselle. I did not know.
No. See, we work together, and the couch in the room is really large enough, and... Well, yeah, I prefer my own room, naturally, but there isn't one, so I...
Say no more, mademoiselle. Jean,